Hey, you guys. So it is what? Wednesday, November 25th, I believe, the day before Thanksgiving, right? The big day. And I just wanted to hop on for a couple of reasons. One is because this is what I've been doing lately, and it's kind of fun and awesome. At least it is for me. If it's not for you, what are you doing here then? Go do something else. And also because yesterday was funny and I wanted to comment on that. So it, like if I was gonna swear, I would call it a Ask You Know What show a little bit when I hopped on live yesterday morning. And that's funny and raises a really interesting point and part of my process and part of everything that I'm going through. And that is that yesterday, I'll just be real, was a hard day for me. Yesterday was hard. And I wasn't entirely sure why it was hard. I had nightmares, I didn't sleep well. I certainly had certain things to do, but I have certain things to do all of the time. And I'm incredibly grateful for my life and the way I get to set things up for myself. And so this happens, and this is some real learning here for me. I start to feel an emotion and I get sucked in, like something has triggered me and I'm sucked in and I'm already down the rabbit hole. And what do I do when I go down the rabbit hole? It's a survival strategy. It's great. I start like working harder and I get into a frenzy and I get upset with myself for being down the rabbit hole. And I'm like, what do I need to do? I got to get out of the rabbit hole. How do I get out of the rabbit hole? Oh my God, how did I get here? Why am I here again? What is going on? And so that was all happening yesterday. It was happening while I hopped on and went live because it's like, well, I got to do my healthy habits and I got to share about my healthy habits because that's what I'm doing these days. And it all made me feel a little bit weird and gross, but I sat with that feeling because here's the thing, and here's what I couldn't see at the moment, but what I'm reminding myself and what I'm learning through. And it's like, let's see if I can keep these threads. It's like 2 or 3 major threads, but that particular learning has to do with one thing, which is my commitment to transparency and growth. So nobody else needs to do what I'm doing, and I don't need to do what I'm doing. However, I'm doing it and I'm committed to my transparency through the shifts and the changes because that is my growth edge. Because typically, what I do is I share when I'm feeling great and fantastic and I'm inspired to help you feel great and fantastic. And then when I get in my little scary darkness hole, I don't share. And I feel a little bit like I'm living 2 different sides of myself. And so just sharing and being more open and staying in growth, uh, just shining a light and letting you know, like, hey, yesterday wasn't perfect. It kind of sucked. It's like a different kind of a lifeline. It's letting me grow through and breathe in and exhale into being all of these things, which does bring me to talking about the holiday. And maybe this is getting too long. Maybe I should save that for a little holiday chat tomorrow because I have another important thread to toss out there that some of you may relate to and some of you may not. But I was doing some work with a very dear friend later in the day, safely in my salon, doing my hair and beauty work. And as we're talking, I suddenly had a like giant aha moment because I was sort of sharing with her how I was stuck in what was hard and sad and I couldn't figure it out. It's sort of like, hey, I'm taking hold of my holiday. I've created intention for myself. Nobody else is making me do things. Why am I having a hard time? And as I was saying it, we were sort of talking about therapy and things we've been through. And when we're in the thing, it's really hard to recognize the thing. And I suddenly just sort of thought about my therapist and I sort of thought about what would she say to me right now. And it's so painfully obvious when someone else says it. And it was just this simple. And I'm getting emotional as I'm saying this because it's so real. Holidays are really hard for me. Holidays are really hard and triggering for me. And maybe they are for you, and maybe not. And I repeated it twice. I'm going to repeat it again. Holidays are hard for me. They just are. They are for a million reasons that I can share with you. And if you know anything about my story, maybe you have a little insight into it. But I'm not sure that I usually say that out loud. Instead, I start scurrying around to make sure that like this is the year that won't be hard. It's like I'm trying to outrun a tornado that is coming anyway. And you know, the only thing I really need to do to diffuse the tornado is just recognize that there's a tornado there. As soon as I had the awareness around like, this isn't my fault. I didn't create it. I'm not bad for having the feelings, you know, because every time it's like, why do I feel like this again? And I attach a lot of my wellness to my healthy habits. And so then I blame myself. Like, I must not be doing my healthy habits well enough. That must be why I feel crummy right now. I've got to do better. But you know what? Sometimes we just feel bad. And sometimes things are just hard. And when we can recognize that and give it some space, there is a beautiful thing that can happen that is also connected to our healthy habits, because the thing is how we're going to feel once the tornado passes is attached to what choices we make in the face of the tornado. So, and we can all give ourselves comfort and grace and ease around it. But I am about to like whip up my shake because it does keep me feeling, oh, I think I need to wash my shake. My shake buddy used my shaker, our shaker. We're sharing it. That's okay. I can have my aminos right now and I can go offline and we'll just pretend I'm shaking up my shake right now because I'm going to do it for lunch. And really, it was more important that I shared this little message. And the message really is the feelings might be coming for us like a tornado. And it doesn't mean we did anything wrong. Like, it's also almost my birthday, turning 49 on Sunday. So this is, get ready for a huge time of reflection. It's going to be coming out in my blog, in my newsletter, in my lives, maybe in some words online. But yeah, that stuff is in us. And even if we're completely different people now, even if we're in control of our own realities, or maybe we're not, those feelings get stirred up. And that's what was happening to me yesterday. So now I made it to the cabin. I'm leaning really into my healthy habits today. Tomorrow's going to be a huge day of cooking, and I bought kind of conventional stuff. And I was like, whoa, what am I doing here? Should be time for me to roll out the vegan Thanksgiving and get excited about it and share about it. Well, I'm not quite there yet, and that's okay. I'm going to make like apple pie and bread and some other things that my family loves. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a delicious, bountiful salad, and I'm going to fill my plate a lot with that. I'm going to have my healthy greens, my aminos, my shake to help support me today and tomorrow. And today I'm having, you know, as much of a veggie and fruit fast as I can to just sort of allow for those little savory treats I'm going to have. So that was really like the third point, right? So there's 3 threads there. I know there are. One big one is, hey, stuff is going to happen and it's not necessarily your fault, and just love yourself through it anyway. There was another thread. I think it's the healthy habits that carry us through. And then the third thread is you can be where you are and be open and honest and compassionate about that right now. And you can also still throw yourself some lifelines and support yourself with some healthy habits that are just going to anchor you a little bit. Like, you don't have to cut yourself off from everything and boomerang and hide like I do sometimes. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm going to pop on with something tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes, because I also want some time freedom tomorrow. But I might hop on for a holiday edition of a little meditation and a little more chat about those healthy threads that can carry us through. And right now, I'm going to have my shake it up, and I'm going to get back to my computer and do some more work so I can have that big time freedom day tomorrow. So I hope this finds you well. And I would love to start a thread sharing some of our healthy alternatives or healthy habits. Let's just drop that here. If you're with me, thanks for making it all the way to here. Can you drop something you're going to do for yourself to anchor yourself tomorrow? And I don't care if you're going to eat a whole pie. If you are going to add a new vegetable or a fruit, if you're going to take a walk or meditate or start the day with yoga, what's something you're going to do for yourself just to hold that space for yourself? All right. Have a fantastic day, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow sometime on the holiday. Hi, Rachel. I love you so much. I just want to brag about you, but that's for another time. Okay. Bye-bye.